So when the Toronto Blue Jays first appeared on CBC television as a full franchise in their first game in Major League Baseball, fans of all ages from 2 to 102 tuned in on the National Corp. Several million people, and he didn't let anybody down. A very interesting first game, very back and forth against a very credible opponent in the Chicago White Sox. Now, this first contest, April 7th, 1977, 44,649 fans showed up at Exhibition Stadium. Now, notables in the attendance that day was Metro Chairman Paul Godfrey, Toronto Mayor David Crombie, legendary NHL broadcaster Foster Hewitt, and of course a big fan of the Blue Jays, Anne Murray. Now, the field was overcome by a mini snowstorm that covered the pitch, and hundreds of fans missed the first pitch because they were stuck in traffic because of the storm. Now, if you look at the videotapes on YouTube of what happened, with the honor guard was marching through the snow. Basically, some White Sox players put on some of their pads and pretended they were cross-country skiing. So it was your typical early April day in Canada where it could be either 20 degrees or -2 with flurries and freezing rains. Now, umpires for the game included Nestor Chilak, Joe Brinkman, Rich Garcia, and of course the future umpire Hall of Famer Steve Palermo. Now, again, it was broadcast on CBC with Tom McKee as host, with the great Don Chevrolet doing play-by-play, and New York legend Whitey Ford providing color. Now, McKee was the first ever face and voice to appear on a Blue Jay telecast. The Blue Jays, unfortunately, would only appear on the CBC 6 times that first season. Now, Tom Cheek and analyst Early Wynn called the game on the radio, this being the first of 4,306 consecutive games that Cheek would call. Now, as the snow was squeeged off the field via a Zamboni on loan from the Maple Leafs, the 48 Highlanders marched onto the field to perform the Star Spangled Banner. Now, Canadian country singer Anne Murray wearing a red parka, then sang "Go Canada" to kick off the last of the pregame festivities. Now, the fans did chant "We want beer," because Toronto's Exhibition Stadium was the only ballpark in the major leagues to not offer the suds, which was a big level of controversy for a number of seasons until beer was come in, even though the team was sponsored by Labatt's. Now, Bill Singer, who was the opening day spring training, was the spring training starter, started on the opening day and threw the first pitch in Blue Jay history to speedster Ralph Garr, the White Sox, which was a high fastball called for a strike. Now, from an 0-2 count, Garr battled back to 3-2, then drew a walk. Afterwards, Garr stole second base, vanishing to third when catcher Rick Stroh went into a mini snowbank in the center field. Shortstop Alan Baxter then hit a fly ball for the first out of the game. George Orta followed with a sacrifice fly to cash in Garr, who scored the first run at Exhibition Stadium. Richie Zisk then hit the first home run at the X, making the score 2-0. Now, when Blue Jays manager Roy Hartsfield went to the mound to talk to Singer, as reliever Jerry Johnson started warming up, Singer was later able to compose himself, getting Eric Soderholm to hit in the fielder's choice to end the inning. Now, outfielder John Scott was the first Blue Jay to have an at-bat. He faced George Brett's brother, Ken Brett, taking the strike on the first pitch thrown to him. He then struck out, as did the next batter, Hector Torres. But up came first baseman Doug Ault, a 27-year-old career minor leaguer with only 9 games experience in the majors and the Blue Jays' 16 pick in the expansion draft. On a 1-1 pitch, Ault slugged the first home run and first hit in Blue Jay history deep to left center. The score was now 2-1 Chicago. The Chi Sox then scored 2 runs at the top of the second, increasing the lead to 4-1. Now, in the bottom of the second, Gary Woods bunted for a single, stole second, and scored on a single by Pedro Garcia. Now, in the third inning, Torres singled and Ault was back at the plate with the count 1-1. Ault hit his second home run down a right field line, and the game was tied 4-4. Toronto then took their first lead to fourth when Dave McKay singled in Garcia from second. Singer then struck out Chet Lemon to start the fifth inning, but Brian Downing and Ralph Garr singled off him. Hartsfield came out to the mound to make a pitching change, and then Singer left to a standing ovation as Jerry Johnson entered the game. Johnson recorded the final 2 outs of the 5th, and in his first major league at bat, Al Woods pitched hit for Steve Bowling in the bottom of the 5th, with Oliver Velez at second, Woods homered to right field. The score was now 7-4 in favor of Toronto, as the team having scored in every inning to that point. The Sox scored a comeback run in the 6th, making the score 7-5. Then the great Pete Vukovich entered in relief of Johnson to begin the 8th. He struck out 2 batters, gave up a walk and a single, but got a ground ball to end the inning. In the bottom of the inning, Ault returned to the plate and singled in another run to make the score 8-5. Another run scored on a double play groundout, making the score 9-5 Blue Jays. In the top of the 9th, Vukovich retired George Orta on a ground ball, then struck out Richie Zisk. And for the day, Zisk had 4 hits and 5 at-bats, so the 5-for-5 day was thrown out the window by the out. Now, when out to go for the win, Jim Spencer hit a line drive to left field, but Scott dropped the ball for a 2-base error. Oscar Gamble subsequently grounded out to the shortstop, and the Blue Jays had won their first game in franchise history. Now, Johnson had picked up the win, while Vukovich earned the save. Now, the heroes of opening day will not have a future with the Jays. Jerry Johnson retired after the 77 season and would end up in Hollywood working as a stuntman. At the 77 winter meetings, Toronto traded Vukovich to the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for Tom Underwood. Now, after seeing sporadic playing time in 78, Ault spent all of 79 in the minors, and his legacy of time with the Blue Jays was never fulfilled, or what could have been fulfilled. So the line score for Chicago, 2-2-0-0-0-1-0-0-0, 5 runs, 15 hits, no errors. Toronto, 1-1-2-1-2-0-0-2-0, 9 runs, 16 hits, 1 error. And Ken Brett took the loss. Again, the Richie Zisk homer, first homer at the X, and Doug Ault first for the Blue Jays. Now for pitching for, again, Toronto, Singer 4 innings and a third. Johnson 2.2 for the win. Vukovich with a save, 2 innings of scoreless relief. Now the aspect of the Blue Jays in this game, it was a great first impression, but unfortunately by the end of April they had fallen, out of under 500, and there were 10-11 after the first month, but after that it was literally downhill. So that's the second in a series of podcasts we're doing about some of the history of the Blue Jays as a tribute to them making the wild card in this year's Major League Baseball playoffs. If you have any comments or requests or basic information you'd like to pass on, I met a few people that have been at the game, and according to many people, over 1 million Canadians have claimed to be at that opening game, but maybe they were so young at the time they were watching the game they thought they were there. But it was so weird. It was almost springtime in New Brunswick, so watching a snowstorm in Toronto April 7th was weird, because in New Brunswick usually it was a reverse, because you know how the maritime weather is. So thanks for listening. Bye.